What's going on, my Fly family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. We have a lot to talk about today, but we're going to start it right here with Stephen A. Smith coming on First Take and just going off about Caitlin Clark.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's what, you see that score? You see that score? This is what we've been waiting for.
Stephen A. Smith just flipped the script, and sports fans everywhere are stunned. The man known for his ruthless takes and explosive rants has now bowed to the unstoppable force that is Caitlin Clark. What caused the shift? What did Caitlin do that left Stephen A. breathless? Stay tuned, because this isn't just about basketball. This is about a seismic shift in the culture of the WNBA.
I'm focused on Caitlin's numbers. The regular season just started. They ain't gonna win every game. They outscored them 25-15 in the fourth quarter. It just came up short. She finished with 27. She had 5 threes. She pulled up from 30 for one of them. She hit back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter. The girl doing her thing. I'm looking at a number right here. At the start of this is her second season, just her second season, and she's already set the all-time WNBA career record with her 6th 25-point, 10-assist game. Caitlin Clark is the truth. She's the real deal, and she's not going anywhere. Now we got to see what Paige Beckers does in Dallas, now that she's a WNBA player, and we can't wait until our girl get healthy, Juju Watkins.
It started like any typical Stephen A. segment. Intensity, volume, and brutal honesty. But this time, instead of tearing someone down, he built someone up. Caitlin Clark, the rookie with Steph Curry range and Magic Johnson vision, had just dropped 27 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds, and Stephen A. couldn't contain himself.
After opening the season with a triple-double, she then dropped 27-11 with 5 boards and 2 steals. That is a problem, but it doesn't end there. So remember how last game, how she tied the third-place player for the most triple-doubles in WNBA history, right? Now she has the most 25 and 10-plus games in WNBA history already. But trust me, I'm not even done yet. So Caitlin Clark now tied Courtney Vandersloot for the most 20 and 10 games. Vandersloot took 430, Diana took 565. It's taking Caitlin 42 freaking games. But wait, I'm not done. She is now the first WNBA player in history to start off the season with back-to-back 20 points and 10.
Clark isn't just putting up good numbers. She's doing what veterans never dreamed of. She now holds the WNBA record for the most 25-point, 10-assist games, and she hasn't even played 50 games. Only legends like Diana Taurasi and Courtney Vandersloot come close, but it took them hundreds of games. Caitlin? Just 42.
Side seat. These girls are supposed to have some clout. Work it out. You too, Molly. You got some clout. Work it out. I am at a point in time in my life where I am not going to a WNBA game and being upstairs or in the media box.
We got it. We got some clout. We're going to work it out. You got some bars. And that was supposed to be...
Because you haven't done it yet, Molly.
Okay, that was a quick take.
One thing I can definitely agree on with Stephen A. Smith is that Caitlin Clark is the truth, man. Is something special, okay? Now, look at this stat. Look at this stat, dog. Most 20-point, 10-assist games. She haven't even made it to 50 games yet, all right? She hasn't even made it to 50 games and already tied it with Diana.
Let's rewind. Stephen A. Smith built a reputation on calling out overhyped stars. He's gone at LeBron, KD, Kyrie, and even WNBA legends like Liz Cambage. But something about Clark is different. He doesn't just respect her, he's captivated. And that breaks his usual formula.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball. And oh, by the way, she was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else. For 22 years, they couldn't get chartered flights. That sister got there and it was done in 2 weeks. That's who Caitlin Clark is.
This isn't just about numbers. Caitlin Clark, a white woman from Iowa, walked into a league that's historically struggled with visibility, pay equity, and respect. She didn't just bring her game. She brought mainstream attention. And that makes people uncomfortable, including some fans and even fellow players.
You all hate Clark, and when I say you all, hate Clark because She's a great hooper. You can't fake hooping. You can't fake shooting the ball. You can't fake creating your own shot. You can't fake facilitating. You can't fake none of it. You can't fake it. No, you cannot. It's simply the black people. Y'all hate her because if this was a young black woman like Juju, you wouldn't say nothing. Oh, and when y'all bring up Paige was raised by. So
her journey hasn't been without friction. From Angel Reese's cold post-game reactions to Chindy Carter's flagrant foul, Clark's presence exposed deeper cultural tensions in the league. And Stephen A., always a lightning rod for race discussions, didn't shy away from calling it like it is.
Oh my goodness. And I mean, she's almost about to hit Courtney Vandersloot. And look how many games they played to get to this number. Look how many games she's played. Oh my goodness, man. I believe Caitlin Clark might be the Oscar Robertson of the WNBA right now. I mean, this is nuts. This is nuts. She's also tied with Candace Parker with most triple doubles. Now she has a little way to beat Alyssa Thomas. Then she has 15. But fam, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She is scraping the record.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest ratings draw the WNBA has ever seen. Since her arrival, ESPN's viewership has doubled. Jerseys sell out. Ticket prices surge. But with that spotlight comes criticism. Is she being overhyped? Or is she simply delivering in ways others never could?
When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport.
How was the attendance for Team USA in the Olympics? What would it have been like if Caitlin Clark was playing on that team? Remember the first game? Look at this right here. National broadcast viewership. What are we talking about here? 1,000, what is that? 1.219? Is that the number? And the game afterwards got 485,000. So the Fever and their game against the Minnesota Lynx was 1.219 million. On Ion.
Numbers literally don't lie. It's strictly in your face right. The Fever, bro. They were the worst team in the league last year. Did not make the playoffs. This chick shows up. They make the playoffs, and they're the most watched team in the league.
In the end, Stephen A. didn't rant. He didn't argue. He didn't debate. He just watched and applauded. Caitlin Clark made the loudest voice in sports media go silent, not out of shame, but out of sheer awe. The debate king had no take left, only admiration.
Including 5 3-pointers, and is now the all-time leader in 25-point 10-assist games in WNBA history. In year 2, coming off of a rookie season where she set the record for the most records broken in a single season, and now in year 2 has already broken.
Caitlin Clark didn't ask to be a movement, but that's exactly what she's become. And when even Stephen A. Smith is stunned into respect, you know something historic is happening. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Buckle up.
You need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm. Because
he built his legacy shouting into the camera, fearless in his takes, unforgiving in his critiques. But this time he was wrong, dead wrong. And for the first time in a long time, Stephen A. Smith, ESPN's loudest lion, was forced to do something unthinkable, admit he was outmatched. And the person who humbled him? A 22-year-old rookie rewriting WNBA history with every dribble. Her name is Caitlin Clark.
She deserves time. She deserves to be celebrated at Iowa the way that she did. When I did an event with her and my guy Mark Shapiro in Iowa, that's his alma mater, 11,000 people showed up. I assure you it was not for me. It was for her. This is who she is, and this is what she brings to the table. And then to go to the pro level, basically with no rest, after advancing to the national championship game before losing to Dawn Staley in South Carolina last year, what does she do? She goes out in the WNBA and she balls out there as well, and she ends up being a league MVP candidate as a rookie. This is who she is. She brings big-time play to the equation, big-time attention, and then she steps out absolutely no obligation to do so.
Before we get into Stephen Yes backpedaling, let's understand exactly why Caitlin Clark has become the storm the entire sports media can't ignore. In just her first season in the WNBA, Clark has already
The kind of stuff that's happening and has been happening over the last few months is because of Caitlin Clark. I got some of the stats in front of me to validate it. Because you see, I bring receipts. And I'll get to why I'm really pissed off in a few minutes. WNBA Draft 2024 drew 2.446 million viewers to ESPN on Monday night, making it the most watched draft in WNBA history. Who's the number one overall pick? Huh, Aaron? Who's the number one overall pick? Say it louder. Caitlin Clark, the number one overall pick. It's coincidence, huh? It's just coincidence, huh? Of course.
But Caitlin's rise didn't sit well with everyone, especially ESPN's most vocal figure. Stephen A. Smith originally had his doubts. He criticized the WNBA for allegedly pushing one player too hard, while others were left in the shadows. Then came the moment Stephen A. finally broke. Not with anger, but with praise. A rare sight, one that tells you everything about how Caitlin Clark has shattered the old guard. This isn't just about one player's dominance. It's about the old versus the new. Loud takes versus silent greatness. The sports world is evolving, and Stephen A. Smith, like the rest of us, is just trying to catch up. With a league MVP campaign underway, Caitlin Clark is just getting started. But all eyes are now on what happens next. The playoffs, the potential USA Olympic call-up, and, of course, more Stephen A. reactions. Some legends talk their way into greatness. Others play their way into history. Caitlin Clark isn't just winning games. She's changing the game. And now, even the loudest voice in sports can't deny it. If you want more exclusive breakdowns, controversial takes, and the truth behind the headlines, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. This isn't just women's basketball. This is a revolution in motion. In a sports media landscape often dominated by bombast, bias, and blistering hot takes, Stephen A. Smith's begrudging transformation from outspoken skeptic to stunned admirer of Caitlin Clark stands as one of the most ironic evolutions in modern broadcasting. Once questioning the legitimacy of her hype, Smith now finds himself cornered by a tidal wave of evidence, a relentless cascade of stats, accolades, and transcendent performances that defy denial and redefine dominance. Caitlin Clark hasn't just arrived in the WNBA, she has dismantled the gate, redrawn the blueprint, and installed herself as the new architect of women's basketball. With each laser-precise assist and mind-bending three-pointer, Clark is rewriting the narrative Smith once tried to control. The man who built his empire on amplified certainty and theatrical rants now speaks with tones of awe, even reverence, his voice cracking not with disdain, but with the emotional weight of a man witnessing history unfold before his very eyes. It's a televised transformation, from roaring critic to reluctant witness of greatness. Every shout he lets out now seems less like criticism and more like an involuntary tribute to the gravitational pull of Clark's brilliance. This isn't merely about a sports figure winning over a pundit. It's about a generational talent forcing even her most vocal doubters to recalibrate their worldview. Stephen A., whose words once shaped headlines, now finds his own narratives being steamrolled by the very excellence he underestimated. What's unfolding isn't just a rivalry between broadcaster and baller. It's a symbolic passing of the torch, a cultural reckoning where old biases collapse under the weight of new truths. Clark is not just playing basketball, she is commanding a movement, bridging eras, dismantling legacy myths, and asserting the power of unapologetic, unstoppable excellence. And as Stephen A. searches for a fresh take amid the wreckage of his past proclamations, he becomes the latest footnote in the story of a phenom whose legend grows faster than even his reactions can keep up. This is not just a game, it's a reckoning. And Caitlin Clark is the revolution we all underestimated, until it was too loud, too undeniable, and far too brilliant to ignore.